Welcome back to Lesson 9, Problem Solving Suggestions. Do you have some problems in your relationship and feel that they are really quite complex and not something that can be solved within one evening or one video lesson or even a few days? Now, if that's the case, here's a simple suggestion. Try and solve one problem per month. Now let's assume you have 6 major marital issues, problems. Could be predictability, dishonesty, stressful work schedule, etc. Sit down as a couple, write down the problems in order of severity. That's important, in order of severity. Now take a calendar and only for this purpose, hang it in your bedroom and write one problem per month on that calendar, but start with the smallest problem, the one that's going to be the easiest to solve, the smallest one. And during each respective month, you work on coping with and solving that one problem. Now you see, by writing problems down, number one, you're aware of them. And you see them on the calendar every time you look at it. So subconsciously, you'll already be working on them all the time. And by starting with the easiest one first, you may well find that it'll take you a week or maybe 2 weeks to solve it, which is a good boost to solve the others. Now you can carry on to the next one. And by the time you've hit what you thought was the most difficult dilemma, you'll be experienced at sorting out problems and most probably not see this as the big major issue you thought that it was in the beginning. But a big stumbling block is that couples do not see the problem from each other's perspectives in the same way. So no matter what method you use and what plans you make to try and solve the issue at hand, it's still a very difficult task. And the question here now is, how do you get to see your partner's viewpoints and experience their feelings? Simple. As from this very moment, you have to start reversing everything in your marriage. For example, redistribute the chores around the house. What your wife has been doing up to now, you as the husband take over. If your wife got up first thing in the morning to make breakfast, you as the husband start doing it from tomorrow morning. Even sleep on the different side of the bed. If your husband was the cook, you as the wife now take over. Whoever made the beds, vacuumed the house, washed the dishes, change roles with the partner. I can see you stressing out already. If you as the husband went out to a football game while your wife prepared the dinner, now the wife should go out and enjoy a sport or socialize with her friends while you do the dinner. You have to reverse every single thing. If you drove your wife to work every morning, let her drive you tomorrow morning. I know what you're thinking. I must be insane. I'm crazy even suggesting this. I'll put money on it that the only one complaining right now is the man. Guys, change roles. Start realizing what your wife really does in the home. Do you want to be a perfect partner or do you want to be a schmuck? This is going to take a lot of planning. If you have children, you can even involve them in assisting you with identifying who's been doing what. Oh boy, and they're going to tell you, no holds barred. They tend to view everything from a third person point of view, and they're still objective. If you want honesty, believe me, you're going to get it from your kids. Now, the easiest way to do this is to write down all the chores and activities, including the relaxing time such as watching television, Netflix, etc., all on a sheet of paper. Next, you write down who has been mostly responsible for each of these activities. This alone is going to be an eye-opener. And once you've accomplished this, simply reverse the roles. Now I can see you must be puzzled as to the reasoning behind this. If you are, then you may well be that half of the relationship that this exercise is aimed at. See, it's about time you realize what your partner does and that you experience this as well. Now, the classic example is that the husband comes home from work, reads the paper, watches the news on television, eats his supper, goes out to enjoy sport, returns home late and complains that his wife has no sex drive. I can see all the ladies are laughing like anything now. But sadly, that's the stereotypical situation in many majors. His wife, on the other hand, you the lady, is left to look after the kids and the husband, having to cook, clean, run everything, run after everyone. And then you get to bed tired and frustrated in the evenings while the husband has the good life and keeps fit with his sport. And then when the subject gets brought up by you, the wife, he gets annoyed, saying that he brings in the money for the family and he works every day. Yet he forgets that his wife also has a half-day job and already gets up at 5 o'clock, 2 hours earlier than her husband, to prepare breakfast, get the kids ready for school, and then only sort herself out. I'm not saying that it couldn't be the other way around. Don't get me wrong. I'm just trying to give you typical gender role experience. Remember, this is simply an example to bring my point across. You could be in a gay relationship where it's completely different to a heterosexual relationship. But look at what your partner is doing. Because sometimes we take for granted and we don't realize what's going on with our partners. So if you think of everything I've just said, can you now see how beneficial this can be for your marriage, for your relationships, if the roles are reversed? You must understand that for any problems to be tackled, each partner must be aware of the problems that exist. And without reversing roles and letting either partner experience the other's daily lifestyle, neither of you will be able to truly relate to the personal conflicts and challenges each has to face in their daily schedule. Now, this exercise should be carried out for at least a week, so that you can get the feel of what the other person goes through. It's going to be a week of hell, I can tell you that. But only once you've done that week can you actually sit down and discuss your problems and solutions together and actually write down this list and start putting those problems onto a calendar. In many respects, even after the first day, one of the partners will be so astounded and surprised at the responsibilities of the other, and the major change that needs to occur will even start at this early stage. Now, at first, I'm sure some of you may think this sounds impractical because your routines are so finely tuned and work commitments make it almost impossible to attempt. If that's the case, then I suggest you both take a week off from work and do this in that week holiday period. Now, I know what you're going to say. My holiday, I've got to take a week off. What about the holiday I want at the end of the year? What is more important, your relationship or the holiday? Because once your relationship works, believe me, life's going to be magical and completely different anyway. Bottom line, you may find that this 1 week holiday changes your entire life for the better. And here's a nice story just to put everything into perspective for you. One evening, Jenny arrived home from work to find her children bathed, one load of clothes in the washer and another in the dryer, dinner on the stove, the table was set. She was astonished. Something's up. It turned out that Ralph had read an article that says wives who worked full-time and had to do their housework were too tired to have sex. The night went well, and the next day she told her office friends all about this. We had great dinner. Ralph even cleaned up, did the dishes. He helped the kids do their homework. He folded all the laundry. He put everything away. I really enjoyed the evening. But what about afterwards? All the friends asked. Oh, that was perfect too. Ralph was too tired. He fell asleep. No one said it was going to be easy. Couple this with our quick fix and instant gratification society, and I can see that this exercise could be viewed as a nuisance. Think back of the first time you met your partner. That first feeling of excitement, wonder, lust, and fantasy. Is it still there today? If not, that's definitely a reason to start this exercise immediately. And in fact, I would actually carry on with the video lessons once I've actually completed that exercise, because then you will be ready to move on. But do me a favor, if you're serious about your relationship, seriously attempt this exercise. It makes a huge difference, and it brings that magic back, and it gives you an appreciation for each other. See you in the next lesson.